So I knew this was gonna happen. Just got done recording a video on the green screen, got it all filmed, started editing it in Premiere, and all of a sudden, bam! A brand new fucking goddamn blog post right in my face so I could throw that video in the garbage can. But I guess that's my fault, because I told myself that I wasn't going to record the video until like April 3rd, because they're going to drop something on me and I'm going to have to re-record the whole thing. And now I'm going to have to. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're just getting into April. And that means it's time for another Dauntless news update. Let's go. Alright, the first blog post is about customization. Now this is probably one of the most important parts of this game, to be honest. All the armor and the weapons that you get, of course, you're going to craft from behemoths and stuff that they drop. So that armor typically is going to look like the behemoth itself. But that does not mean it's going to affect the color in which that armor is. They're going to allow you to dye your armor. So they lay out in the blog post exactly what that means, and that there's going to be dyes, and not only is there just going to be different colors, there's also going to be different finishes. They also mentioned in the blog post rare cosmetic items. So if you're not familiar with what a rare cosmetic item is, then you haven't been playing any of the most popular games in the past 3 years. They also mentioned in this blog post that there are also going to be a thing called transmog stones. So it's not going to be like Monster Hunter where you have this 6 set of armor and it's just not cutting it anymore, so you have to go to some other set of armor that looks like crap. Now you'll be able to keep that awesome looking set of armor as long as you want with the transmog stones. They also mentioned at the very end of that little piece that it doesn't mean that you won't be able to gauge another Slayer's potential based on the armor, which makes me think they might be going for some sort of a armor level or gear score similar to World of Warcraft in order to be able to tell what somebody's rating actually is. Also, if any of you have seen that PAX gameplay, which is actually what's playing on your screen right now, when they fire up the flares into the sky, they blow up into a PAX logo, kind of a special thing for the event. Well, those flares are actually going to be a customizable part in the game, in that you will unlock or possibly be able to purchase different designs, possibly colors. We don't really know exactly what it's going to be, but some sort of customizable options for the flare. And in the same breath, they're also going to have the Slayers have banners. Now, we don't know exactly what this banner is going to look like. They didn't specify, but the banner is basically something that displays when you look at another Slayer. So it could be on your back, kind of like those Japanese samurai people have on their back. I don't know, who knows? It could be anything at this point. And you might be asking yourself, how do I get all that cool stuff though? Well, you get that in the form of chroma cores, aka loot crates. In these loot crates, you'll be able to get the dyes, the transmog stones, flares, and banners, and the other cosmetics items, which I assume are these special rare ones that they're talking about. You'll be able to get the cores either by buying them on the in-game store or slaying behemoths and completing quests. That's pretty much it for the customization piece of the blog post. It's actually really good to hear. I'm glad they got this out of the way, because now we understand how the monetization of the game is going to work in the form of loot crates, which is, I think, what most of us were expecting anyway, but it's just nice to finally get that out of the way. We finally have a firm answer on that. Next up is the alpha. Now, I already made a little quick update video on my channel for those of you who missed that. It's not really important. This video is going to supersede that anyway. Alright, so what we know about the Dauntless alpha is that it's going to be at the end of April, and that the signups have already begun, which I will talk about a little bit later. And there will be an NDA associated with it, so there won't be any screenshots or videos. I don't even think we're allowed to talk about it if we get in. Of course I won't get in, but you never know. It's been a while, but we're actually finally going to be able to play Dauntless soon. It's really exciting for them, and it's really exciting for us too, so I can't wait to see what they put out. Alright, so this is probably the most important part of this entire video. If you got an email, and you signed up for Dauntless on the site, if you got an email having you reconfirm your password, that's great, but that was not your entry into the alpha. That's what they originally said in an interview, I believe, and that's not actually the case. So, the way you sign up for the alpha is you go to a specific blog post, which will be in the description, and you click on the link in that blog post. It'll take you to the alpha sign up sheet. Now, a lot of people didn't know this, so a lot of people haven't signed up. So, I'll have the straight link to the alpha sign up page in the description. Make sure you click that and make sure you sign up for the alpha because you don't want to miss it. So just to be clear, that email that you got and that you changed your password for, that was just reconfirming your account for the website because they added another security layer on top of that with the CAPTCHA thing. But that was not your sign-in for the alpha, so make sure you click that link and sign up. Alright, and of course, the blog post that was dropped today that ruined my first video is about looting behemoths. Yeah, that's right, you heard me correctly, it's all about looting. Basically, the premise of this is talking about what it feels like after you kill a behemoth. So you kill a behemoth, you get its core, which has all of its aether in it. Basically, it's what you use to turn into a weapon that you can use to upgrade your weapons later on. And that you take it to the smith in the town. The smith, does whatever he has to do and turns it into whatever he turns it into. Talks a little bit about how the core represents what effect it's going to give the weapon. So if it's a Pangar, which is the ice thing, it'll give you some sort of ice-powered attacks on your weapon, stuff like that. This article also clears up exactly what a behemoth drops. Now, on base level, behemoths only drop the cores and whatever pieces that you chip off of them during combat, such as, tail, horns, whatever. But this article outlines fuck you, phone. But this article outlines 2 separate states that you can activate in order to get more out of your hunts. Basically, you have the ability to buy temporary boosts in Dauntless. Now, what these boosts do, and they only last for a predetermined length of time, is they allow you to get more stuff when you kill a behemoth. So one of these boosts is called Champion's Boost, and it just gives you more materials when you slay a behemoth. This one's only for yourself. And there's also Patron Status, which is where everyone in your party, regardless of what their status is already, will receive more materials when you slay a behemoth. Now, this Patron Status actually stacks. So if you have 4 people in your group, and they all have patron status, you all basically get like times, it's not an actual times 4, but you get the picture. And also, to make it clear, champion status will allow you to receive more materials from a behemoth, but only patron status will give you, fuck you, man! Patron status will be the only status that allows you to discover cosmetic items from behemoths, so you can get drops that are dye and that are banners, that are flares, stuff like that. And they also make it extremely clear at the very end of the blog post that if you don't slay a behemoth, you're not going to get anything at all. So regardless of what boost you buy, you're still not going to get anything if you're not able to actually kill the thing. So in a way, to them, that validates the fact that you actually do have to be good enough to kill the behemoth in order to actually get stuff. They also mentioned that they're going to be balancing the boost to make sure that it's enjoyable for everyone. I'm very iffy on this one. I know this is definitely the news that a lot of people didn't want to hear, but the thing about Phoenix Labs is they do actually listen to their community. So if you're not happy about this and you think that it's kind of teetering on the edge, make sure you head over to the Dauntless forums. I'm sure there's already a bunch of threads about this. There is always usually a thread pertaining to whatever the blog post is. If you go to the forums and go to blog posts, I think there's probably already one up for looting behemoths. Go speak your mind in there. That's the best place to do it. They read those threads, especially the days after they put out an article like this. So go let them know what you think. I don't know, this one's a tough one for me. I might put out a video later talking about it and give my 2 cents on this front, but I'll save that for a later time. Next up, I just wanted to highlight something that came out about a week ago. A guy named Durdot on the Dauntless forums put out a guide on alphas. It was actually really, really good. It talks about non-disclosure agreements and what that means for you as a alpha tester, as well as stuff on what you should do to properly report a bug, what you should do to give proper feedback when a game is in alpha state. You should go check it out. It's a good read, even if you have tested alpha games before. I recommend you take a look at this one. All right, and that's it for the update for April. Ooh, that was a doozy on that last article. We'll see how that one goes. Ooh. Anyway, guys, go check out the Dauntless forums. Go check out the rest of my YouTube videos. Go check out Mosimba, because that dude is cool, and he does interviews with all the dudes from Phoenix Labs because he's the boss. And that's it. Thanks, guys. See you later.